The Galactic Council had long classified humans as a dangerous species. Their history was riddled with warfare, their entertainment glorified violence, and their capacity for aggression surpassed that of most spacefaring civilizations. What the Council failed to understand was that the same ferocity that made humans feared across the galaxy also made them uniquely capable of compassion. Lena trembled in the cramped cargo hold of the smuggler's ship. The blue-skinned Vexian girl had been abducted from her homeworld 3 cycles ago, traded between criminal syndicates until she ended up as merchandise bound for the notorious black markets of Proxima Station. Her captors, a gang of Draxian pirates, had declared her valuable for her natural ability to process quantum data, a skill prized by illegal tech operations throughout the galaxy. Approaching Earth orbit, announced the ship's navigation system, preparing for atmospheric entry. The Draxians had chosen Earth as a temporary hideout, a planet most law-abiding species avoided. The planet existed on the fringes of galactic society, permitted to join interstellar trade routes but generally regarded with suspicion due to humanity's primitive emotional volatility. Captain Rax, the lead Draxian, sneered at his navigator. Smart choice. The Council patrols never check this backwater. Even they don't want to deal with humans. The ship landed in a remote forest clearing somewhere in what humans called the Pacific Northwest. Dense evergreen trees provided excellent cover from orbital scans. The pirates planned to lay low for a few days while a bidding war for Lena escalated among potential buyers. Tom Russell had been hiking alone when he spotted the strange lights through the trees. An Army veteran who now worked as a park ranger, he approached cautiously, his curiosity overriding his better judgment. From behind a thick trunk, he watched as tall reptilian creatures unloaded equipment from what was undeniably a spacecraft. His eyes widened when he saw them drag out a small, blue-skinned figure. Even from a distance he could see the fear in her large silver eyes. The girl appeared humanoid except for her coloration, delicate cranial ridges, and 6-fingered hands bound by some kind of energy restraint. Tom had known about alien contact. For years the whole world had, but interactions remained limited and tightly controlled by international protocols. Whatever was happening here was definitely not official. He observed the alien setting up a perimeter of devices that blinked with purple light. Security measures, he guessed. The girl was shoved into a makeshift shelter while the reptilians laughed in harsh clicking sounds. That night, Tom returned with his friend Kate, a former combat medic who now worked in the local clinic. "I still think we should call the authorities," Kate whispered as they crouched in the underbrush, watching the alien camp. "And tell them what? By the time anyone believes us and cuts through the red tape, they could be gone," Tom replied. "Look at her." Through the transparent side of the shelter, they could see the blue girl huddled in a corner, periodically wiping tears from her face. "They're hurting her," Kate said, her jaw tightening. "I can't just watch this." Tom nodded. "Neither can I." The 2 humans spent hours studying the aliens' patrol patterns. They noted how the security field pulsed at regular intervals and identified what appeared to be the command console. Tom's military training proved invaluable as they formulated their plan. Just before dawn, when the aliens' biorhythms would likely be at their lowest ebb, a universal constant among carbon-based life forms, Kate had reasoned, they made their move. Tom created a distraction by triggering a small avalanche of rocks on the far side of the camp. As 2 Draxians investigated, Kate used a modified electromagnetic pulse device she had jury-rigged from hospital equipment to temporarily disable the security field. They moved quickly, with Tom neutralizing the remaining guard using combat techniques that the alien clearly wasn't prepared for. The Draxians had assumed humans were dangerous but predictable. They hadn't counted on ingenuity combined with determined compassion. Kate reached the girl first. "We're here to help," she said softly, knowing her words wouldn't be understood, but hoping her tone would convey their intent. The blue girl's eyes widened in recognition, not of the language, but of the sentiment. She nodded frantically. Tom disabled her restraints with a precision laser tool. "Can you walk?" he asked, miming. The action. She stood shakily but determinedly. Together they fled into the forest just as alarms began blaring behind them. The Draxians pursued relentlessly. Captain Rax, furious at being outsmarted by primitive savages, deployed hunting drones that tracked them through the dense woods. "They're gaining on us," Kate panted as they reached Tom's cabin deep in the forest. Tom quickly ushered them inside. "I prepared for this." He revealed a basement room lined with a special metal alloy that would block scanning technology, something he'd installed after years of reading about potential alien threats. The girl suddenly spoke, activating a small translation device hidden in her cranial ridge. "Thank you," she said, her voice translated into halting English. "My name is Elia. On my world, we believed humans were monsters." Kate smiled gently. "Some of us are, but not all. They hunt me for my abilities." Elia explained, "I can interface with quantum networks naturally. They wish to use me." Tom's expression hardened. "Not going to happen." Over the next 2 days, they evaded multiple search parties. Tom reached out to a selective network of ex-military contacts who had connections to Earth's newly formed Interstellar Relations Department. By the 3rd day, an official first contact team arrived, accompanied by representatives from the Galactic Council who had been alerted to the situation. The council officials were visibly uncomfortable dealing directly with humans, preferring to speak through intermediaries. However, their attitude shifted subtly when Elia insisted on telling her story. "These humans saved me when your patrols ignored the slave ships in your own territories," she told the council representative, a tall, willowy being from a species known for their diplomatic skills. "They risked their lives for someone they had never met, from a species they knew nothing about." The representative shifted uncomfortably. "Their methods were unorthodox and potentially dangerous." "Their methods were effective," Elia countered. "Perhaps the council has misjudged humans. Their capacity for violence exists alongside their capacity for kindness, and both can be formidable." The Draxian smugglers were apprehended, and Elia was granted sanctuary on Earth until arrangements could be made for her safe return home. The incident sparked a review of humanity's classification in the Galactic Council's records. Tom and Kate remained Elia's guardians during her stay, teaching her about human culture while she taught them about the wider galaxy. What began as a rescue became a profound cultural exchange. Perhaps, noted one council observer in their report, "It is precisely the savage nature of humans that makes them uniquely qualified to recognize and protect against savagery in others." This incident suggests that human unpredictability and emotional responses, while sometimes dangerous, may also represent an unexpected asset to galactic civilization. Elia would later become Earth's first alien ambassador, forever changing how the galaxy viewed the savage humans who had saved her.